So, message number 2. So, acceleration and braking. Now, how I always approach many of the things I do in the car is in the kitchen. Now, sometimes I say we cook in the car. Okay? We cook jollof rice in here. If you're not from Africa, research what jollof rice is. But here, we cook jollof rice. So I'm always excited when I have a learner. And even if you can't cook jollof rice, I just ask you, do you cook? Because if you cook, then you can relate to me. Okay, let's go on. Now, if you're in the kitchen and you want to do your seasoning, even if you don't cook, but you bake, right? A lot of the times I see people, doing their baking, 2 milligrams of this, 2 millimeters of water, 2 this and that. I'm like, how do you do that? God. But yeah, you do all the measurements, right? And even if you're not using measuring thing and all of that, you put a little bit, right? You put a little bit. And then if it's not enough, you add another one. And that's cooking. Because why? If you put too much, it goes south. It goes sour. And it goes wrong. Okay? And you can't take it back. If you put too much raisin in your baking or your dough or your mixture, you know what happens. If you put too much pepper in your jollof, remember, jollof rice is not pepper soup. So if you put too much pepper inside jollof rice, the kind of pepper that would hurt your mouth is different from the kind of feeling you feel when you drink pepper soup. Remember, pepper soup, you drink and you swallow. But jollof, you still have to charm, you have to chew, you have to bite the thing. You can't just swallow it. Okay? So don't put too much pepper in the jollof rice. And if you put too much salt, that one is even worse. You eat it alone. Because me, I'm not going to take. In fact, I know my friends with the other color, they won't eat it with you because too much salt is not good. So you are on your own. No. Health is wealth. So you can't put too much salt, you can't put too much pepper and all that. So the point I'm trying to say is you put a little bit and you taste it. If it's enough, bingo. If it's not enough, you add a little one again. So it goes gradual, like bit by bit. And that's what you're doing. Now, how do we relate that to driving? Or what's my point? What is my message? Same thing. I say to my learners, in this car, we have 2 things. We've got the brake pedal and we've got the accelerator. Now, if you put too much gas, what's going to happen? Eventually, you could run into someone else's car, or you could run into someone, or you could run into a property. The point is, you can cause damage. Why do that? What's the point? But remember the kitchen. Why not just put a little gas, a little pound? I always say a pound of gas or a pound of brake. So literally a little pressure of pound on your pedals. Just a thickness of a pound. I mean, take a pound and see how thin or how thick it is. Now, at first, when you push that little pressure, see that? Eventually, at some point, it might not react yet. That's fine. Then just add another one and another one until you get what you want. And that way, it's safe. Don't put too much gas and then your car jumps forward and the next thing you're going to do is what? Jump on the brake. And guess what? To you, you might just be braking to stop or slow the car down. But what you fail to realize is there's another driver behind you who is probably so close. And if you smash that brake, they haven't probably got enough time to brake safely. What about the cyclist behind you who is probably delivering food to someone? And right behind you, they're looking at the phone, trying to find out where the property is. Because again, London roads or London properties, the address can be confusing. Same thing as some other places around the country. So they could be looking out for the place they're going to while they're cycling so close behind you. So please, cyclists, don't do that. It's unsafe. You're making it more difficult for us to keep you guys safe. We know we've got the more responsibility because we've got the more powerful tools in our hand, which is the car. You've got the less dangerous one, which is your bicycle. But it's still dangerous to pedestrians anyway. So treat others how you want to be treated. So back to my message. If you brake at that point, which is taking your pepper back from your jollof or your salt back from your pepper soup or your raisins back from your mixture, it's too late. It might not be too late for you on the road, but it will be too late on your test. You know what that means. Sorry, unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you that you haven't passed in this occasion. Go and practice more with your instructor and come back later. It is not what you want. All right, it's not what you want, guys. Just put a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean you're going to go forever driving with one pound. Eventually, we start in this way so that at least you know what you're doing, so that you are doing things in gradual process. The point I'm trying to say is you start to cook. Now, the first time you're going to cook, you probably don't know what you're doing. You're going to use the measurement and you're going to do all of that. But the more you start to do it, hey, you become a pro. And the next minute, you know how much salt you need for a pot of rice. You know how much salt you need for a pot of stew or, soup or whatever it is you're doing. You know how much flour you need for a particular, amount of water or whatever it is. You get the point. Because at that point, you've done it a couple of times and you know how to do it. Now you can cook for the whole country and you know what to put. But even at that, sometimes when you get used to it, when you start to cook a bigger quantity, you go back to level 1, which means you might put a cup of salt. You know that cup is probably not going to be enough for that food. That's because it's a big quantity. But you take it and put it. That's because you have a good idea of roughly how much quantity goes for this. And the sense is to say, obviously, when you now get used to driving, you're now doing these things and it's becoming more natural to you, second nature. And then in that sense, at that point, you can now go through using 2, 3, 4 pounds at a time. Because why? You know how much and how far that will take the car. And that's the difference. All right, that's the difference. So when you see my video and you hear me saying to my learner 1 pepper or 1 spoon of salt or 1 spoon of pepper or 1 pound, that's what I mean. That's how we communicate. We try and make it much more simple using the things that you do on a daily basis to drive on the road, which is why I always try and say put yourself in the shoes of the other people. All right, pepper soup, jollof rice, cake, mixtures, everything, small. You take a little bit, you put in it, then you taste it. If it's good. If it's not enough, add another one, and then it can go on. You don't want to cook and then everyone is running to the toilets just to, and then even when you go to the toilet and then you come back, you're sitting with one side of your bum because someone has put too much pepper in the jollof. And the funny thing is, sorry I'm diverting, guys. The funny thing is, you can have so much pepper in pepper soup and you drink it and you're okay. And you don't run to the toilet like the way you run to the toilet when there's too much pepper in jollof rice. Please, somebody comment below if I'm right or wrong. When you have too much pepper in jollof rice, you end up in the toilet and then you come back from the toilet and you're sitting with one half of the bum. But when you drink the same pepper in pepper soup, I don't know what happened. It's not the same feeling. So that's why I make that I make that scenario of, don't put the same amount of pepper you put in pepper soup inside jollof rice, please. Some people's face are gonna go red, So that's it, guys. Remember you're braking. Brake in good time so that you can apply the 1 pound pressure, so that you can brake gently and safely. All right, that's the point I'm trying to make. Some situations would come where you'd require to brake more firmly and more quicker. That's understandable. Emergencies happen, last minute situations happen, but that's not to say drive every time and not planning ahead to avoid these things. The same with the gas. Please, guys, instructors need to get home to their families too. You think the job is easy, but maybe you should try it. It's not easy when you're sitting the whole day with one leg up, just waiting and ready for any time someone decides to add too much pepper on the gas. And then if you're not ready to pour water on that pepper as an instructor, which is to get on that brake, yeah, things are gonna go wrong. You get what I mean? So guys, please be safe. And remember, we want you to pass. And the examiners want you to pass as well. But the most important thing, the most important thing is that we want the road to be safe, and we want you guys to be safe on the road, because who knows, the car you banged on could be a neighbor's one, could be a friend's one, could be a sister's one. So remember, the danger could be knocking on your door when we have too much unsafe drivers on the road. And that's the whole point. That's why we're trying to make sure that you guys do the right thing, learn the right way, and remain safe. Don't just do it for the test, do it to be safe. And that's why I say to my learners sometimes when they fail, they don't take it too hard. It might just be supposed to make you be better, and go back again and do better this time around. And remember, do the same, remain the same, and be safe. Don't join the bandwagon. All right, so that's it, guys. I know I've gone too long again, but you get the point. You get the message, right? Small pepper, small salt, small raisin, small water. If you put too much pepper in the rice, you put too much salt in the rice, and you pour extra water to help calm that salt and pepper down, what happens? The rice goes soggy. It turns to pap. Pap. Was that your intention before you cook pap and tell us jollof? Or you cook jollof rice and it go wrong, and then you say you were trying to make pap? No, we know it, because I can see the ingredient inside. The intention was jollof rice, but you went wrong. But anyways, don't turn your jollof to pap, okay? Because on the road, that's jollof you're turning to pap. Again, just like you eat that pap alone, it would have been wrong. It would have gone wrong. And you'd be like, I wish I had known. But it would have been too late. Okay? It would have been too late. Too late. Tonight. But yes. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoy this kind of messaging to you guys, I hope you get around what you get through on the road. Please leave a comment below, and I'll be happy to continue this kind of or way of messaging and all of that. So thank you, and stay safe on the road. Again, I'll catch you in the next video.